So one of the other things that you can do to combat the darkness is, I talked about how you have to have unconditional love. And that doesn't mean that people run all over you. That means that you set healthy boundaries with people, and you love yourself more, and you put yourself in places where you are not harboring ill will towards anyone, and you are just making sure that you're taken care of, and you can love people from a distance if you need to. So you are withholding, or you're upholding your boundaries that you have for your own safety and your own protection, but you are not coming after people. And I think that's the main thing about unconditional love. But the next thing that you're going to have to do, because you have to love yourself unconditionally first. And what that takes is a lot of courage. And so to get to unconditional love, you have to love yourself, and you have to have courage in that. And it also takes a lot of courage whenever you're out about in front of other people, to have the courage that you need in order to be yourself fully and authentically. And it requires a lot of courage, because you get a lot of judgment from people who may not be, but what you have to realize is their judgment that they're casting upon you has a whole lot more to do with their own feelings about themselves than it does about you. Now they look at themselves and they're like, I could never do that. And that speaks to their own limitations more than it speaks about you any day, sorry. But you have to have that courage. And so being cowardly when it comes to standing up to people, or not really standing up to people, but standing up for what you deserve, being cowardly about that, it doesn't help anybody. What that does, and I've realized this, one of my babies who lived with us, her favorite teacher that she always talks about, and who is an amazing educator, by the way, she is stern, and she will tell you what's up, but she is never hateful. And she sets clear boundaries, and she does what it is that she needs to do in order to get the topic across. And the kids learn amazing things from her, and she does an amazing job. And what I learned from that, and what I take from that, is that it doesn't help you to people please. It doesn't help others to people please. To get the people around you the best version of you, you have to set healthy boundaries, and clear and concise boundaries. And you have to take care of you. And that's what those boundaries are all about. And so from that point on, when I realized that, I looked into it, because I didn't know how to set boundaries for a very long time. Now that I do, I've worked a lot in the Brene Brown, the guilt. That's a big one. And her whole idea on boundaries, that's how I operate now. And so it's like, what are the things? And so when my kids come into my classroom, I'm like, what are the things that I cannot tolerate and that will make me feel uncomfortable? And it's like, I have to feel comfortable in my environment. Number one, in order to be an effective educator, I have to be comfortable. And so what do? Well, I set up my environment how I want it. And then I establish those roles. And from that, the kids learn a whole lot more than they ever did whenever I didn't have boundaries. They also follow a whole lot more. They listen a whole lot more. There's a lot more respect there between us. And so just because people act like they love you, because you are doing everything you can to make them happy, doesn't mean they respect you. And so that is what you have to do. You have to realize that it takes courage to do that. Yes, especially if you're a people pleaser. It takes that courage. But the end result is one that is healthy for not only you, but everybody else around you. And I have taken that and made that a part of me. And this is stuff that I learned from other educators. And I think educators are, especially the ones who have been doing it forever, they are masters at handling people. Masters. So You want to know how to find the effective teacher and follow what they do. I'm just going to say, and do that in your everyday life, because even with my family, I'm just now starting with some of my family, and that's really hard. But it's that I need you to respect this boundary. And with that, we can have an incredibly effective relationship. With my friends, I need you to respect this boundary. And until I figure this boundary out, we're going to have limited contact. And I need to understand what that boundary needs to be so that I feel comfortable, because my comfort is more important than their feelings. I'm a Southern woman. We're taught to make everybody else's comfort above anything else. It's like, you step in my house, I gotta feed you. I gotta make sure that you have everything that you need. Do you need a blanket? Do you need a drink? What can I do for you? I'm learning a little bit more how to not be so Southern when it comes to dealing with people. And that's so hard. But you do learn, but you have to have courage, and it takes so much courage to do that. I know. Especially if you're used to being able to just take care of everybody, make sure everybody's okay. But it's something that I've learned from watching one of my babies and how she respects a teacher that she had so much more. And I get to see that, and I get to understand that while pleasing is nice in the moment, the end result that you want is respect. But you want mutual respect, so you set boundaries clearly, but you don't, you aren't cruel about it. You're just upfront and honest. And that takes you being authentic, and that takes you working on unconditional love for you and understanding that you deserve more than the bare minimum. You deserve to not be the bottom of the barrel, because that's no place for anyone. But so that next weapon that you can use against the darkness, it's going to be courage. And of course we need that to fight any battle, any dark battle that we have to face. We need courage. But what that is that's courage to stand up for you. Courage to stand up for people that you love. Courage to stand up for what's right. And that's a hard one, because sometimes you stand alone, but you do it. You realize that you have some support from the other side when you stand up alone. There's some big support there, especially if you're doing what's right. But anyway, remember, you deserve to be fought for, even if it's just by you. Your people that you love deserve to be fought for, because they deserve that. Find your Joan of Arc. Or your Jamie Fraser, however you want to go about it. Okay, sending love to you all. Have a good day. Bye.